So today we're diving into a text with a really bold title, Super Science of Gayatri. It's from Pundit Sriram Sharma Acharya, and let me tell you, it makes some pretty profound promises. We're going to break down what Gayatri is, the incredible power it's said to hold, and get to know the man who dedicated his entire life to sharing this ancient wisdom with all of us. Right at the start, the book hits you with this powerful idea, this image of an uninterrupted current of divine light flowing through you. It's a huge claim, right? So let's actually dig into what that's supposed to mean. All right, so to really get that opening quote, we have to start with the most basic question. What in the world is Gayatri? The text makes it clear it's not just a chant you repeat or some kind of ritual. No, it's described as something way more fundamental than that. According to Acharya's work, Gayatri is the actual creative energy of the divine. You could almost think of it as the source code of existence. It's called the fountainhead of both ultimate happiness and supreme knowledge. So you see, it's less about something you do and more about a force you can actually connect with. And wow, the list of promised benefits is pretty huge. The practice, which is called sadhana, is said to work on you from the inside out. It's meant to purify your mind and emotions and give you what the text calls discriminative wisdom, basically the ability to see things clearly. But here's what's really interesting. It promises to tackle both inner and outer poverty, suggesting it can lead not just to spiritual enlightenment, but to a happy, successful life in the real world too. So here's the core philosophy behind it all. The book argues that suffering isn't really a thing we're doomed to experience. Instead, it's just a symptom of ignorance, of not knowing our true divine nature. Think about it like this. Darkness isn't real, is it? It's just the absence of light. Well, the idea is that unhappiness works the same way. It vanishes when you introduce knowledge. Now, this knowledge used to be central to the culture, but the source says that over time it got locked away, restricted to just a select few. This left a huge spiritual gap. So that begs the question, who was the person who decided to tear down those walls and bring Gayatri back to everyone? And that person was Pundit Sriram Sharma Acharya. His whole life basically became this incredible mission to revive Gayatri and make it relevant for the modern world. His journey started young, really young. He was initiated into the practice when he was only 12. But the real turning point came when he was 15. In his writings, he describes being visited by a Himalayan yogi, not in physical form, but in an astral body, who basically laid out his entire life's mission for him. From that moment on, his focus was absolute. Get this knowledge out there. He started his magazine, Akhand Jyoti, and kept at it until his very last day. And when we talk about dedication, this is on another level. He completed something called a Mahaparashrana, which is this massive spiritual discipline involving 2.4 million chants of the Gayatri mantra, and he did it 24 times. This intense 24-year practice was the real-world foundation for everything he taught. And you know what? That dedication left a real legacy. That magazine he started way back in 1937, Akhand Jyoti, which means the eternal flame, is still going strong today, reaching over 1.5 million people. It's just incredible proof of the power of the message he wanted to share. Okay, so we've met the man behind the mission. But let's rewind. Where did all this ancient wisdom even come from? Why is it considered so important? Well, the key is in its name, Vedmata. Vedmata literally translates to Mother of the Vedas. And according to the scriptures, that's not just a poetic title. The idea here is that Gayatri isn't just in the Vedas. It's the primordial source from which all 4 main branches of Vedic knowledge actually sprang. It's the very root of the whole system. And you can see how this branches out. The Rig Veda covers qualities like courage and strength. The Samaveda is all about the arts, music, and love. The Yajurveda deals with the practical stuff, wealth and prosperity. And the Atharvaveda is about science, action, and healing. The claim is that Gayatri is the one single seed that grows into all these different, essential parts of human life. The source uses this fantastic metaphor to really drive the point home. It says if you imagine all of Vedic wisdom as this huge, sprawling tree, then Gayatri is the root system. It's the hidden source that the entire thing grows from and gets its life from. So this is where it all comes together, right? We have this ancient foundational wisdom, but what does it have to do with us today in our modern lives? This is where that super science part of the title really kicks in.
What Acharya was really trying to do was to frame Gayatri not as some mystical belief you just have to accept, but as a systematic, repeatable process, a science, a kind of spiritual technology designed to close that gap we always hear about between the hard facts of science and the inner world of spirituality, and to show they might just be two sides of the very same coin.
And that leaves us with one last big question to think about. This whole work asks us to just shift our perspective a little bit. What happens if we stop looking at this ancient wisdom as old-fashioned dogma and start seeing it as a timeless technology, a powerful tool designed for one thing, our well-being? That's the question right at the heart of the super science of Gayatri.